which creating very long lines at the gas pumps and long traffic problems along the roadway. So we've been working closely with these gas stations that's currently open and establishing a traffic flow pattern so we can get as much traffic most efficient to the pumps and out from the pumps so we can continue to move the line. And it's been pretty challenging. There's some things that we simply can't control is the fuel supply itself. They may have lines at a certain gas station for miles, and that station runs out of fuel, and it's just not an easy turnaround to get fuel back to those stations. So that continues to be a challenge. So out to 5, it's not always 5 up and running because of the limited fuel supply. So we're asking everybody to continue to be patient. For the most part, it's been great. Everybody's at the lines that I've been checking. I see, neighbors talking to other neighbors in the car line, and it seems to be going good. But occasionally, we continue to have problems with someone trying to cut the line or trying to create their own line, and that becomes a challenge. It just gets everybody all spun up. So if you can just be patient with your fellow residents down here that's trying to get fuel, it's going to go smoothly for everybody. And it seems like every day you get another station or 2 online, and that's going to help minimize the volume of traffic you have at each particular station. So again, just be patient with the gas station employees. That becomes a problem as well, trying to get employees to manage this stuff. Be patient with your fellow people out there that's trying to get fuel, and also be patient with the deputies. We're trying to create an environment for you that is safe and efficient to continue to get you gasoline and move on. So listen, we're in it for a few days now. If you get frustrated, just sit back, take a deep breath, think about the people to the west. They don't even have gas stations, they don't have homes, they don't have generators, they don't have anything. So we're pretty fortunate. If the biggest problem to deal with right now is getting your gasoline for your generators or your vehicles. Thank you, good luck, and God bless.
Thank you, Sheriff Pullman. I was going to say that too. Remember, if getting gas is our worst problem, man, we can handle that. To represent our fire department, Charlie Licciardi.
Thank you. I just wanted to address some safety issues when getting gasoline, especially in your containers. Please only use approved gasoline containers. No metal drums or plastic drums, no 5-gallon buckets, and no 55-gallon drums. Everyone needs fuel, so again, try to be aware of your fellow citizens and what they need. When you're filling your cans, remove them from your vehicles, from the back of your trucks, place them on the ground to ground them for static electricity. Please don't use your cell phones, and please no smoking around gasoline pumps. Other than that, the fire department is staffed and manned and ready to respond as normal. Thank you.
I'm sorry, that was Chief Licciardi. Sorry about that. So a lot of things are happening. One of the things that we're asking people who want to get to their properties in the eastern part of the parish is to be patient. Councilmember Calais is our lead on that issue, and she wants to address that today.
Good morning. Is it morning? I think so. Good morning, everybody. Carrie Calais, Councilman at Large for the Eastern District of St. Bernard. Yes, I just wanted to let everybody know, I think most of the people who have property down in Eastern St. Bernard are aware, but we did open the eastern part of the parish outside of the levees to people who have property down there this morning. It is passable. There is some water still on Florissant. So you have to have a vehicle that can go through, probably about a foot of water to get to, anything to the Wyclosky Bridge. The Reggio Delacroix route looks pretty clear, but it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. The Sheriff's Department is letting people who have property down there go check their property, but just please be aware that you need to be in a truck. you need to understand that it's still, a little hazardous down there. So take your time when moving around down there. And obviously, we're not letting people, without property or, some reason to be down there go at this time. So, at the wall, the Sheriff's Department will be letting you through if you do have property down there. The Wyclaskey Bridge is out of service. It had water damage. The water has done severe damage to the bridge. It is not crossable at this time. So if you're in Shell Beach or Hopedale, you cannot cross the Wyclaskey Bridge. DOTD is down there currently assessing and trying to figure out a plan to get that back accessible, but we have no more information at this time on the time period of that happening. So, Shell Beach, Hopedale, we're working on it, but you're not able to access that, anything past the bridge at this time. Thank you for all of our residents down there for being so patient. We know how hard it is. Hey, I have, property down there too, and it's tough not being able to go see, not being able to put your hands on it. So thank you all so much for your patience into getting to this point. We just want to make sure everybody is safe and that, the property down there is secure. Also, kind of separately, I just want to address, I know ice is a big issue. We're doing the best we can to get ice everywhere we can. We're dealing with the same issues that everybody else is. We need fuel, we need, we're running on generators, all the same things. So please have patience, and I know it's a necessity for all of our people, and we are getting it out as quickly as possible. And hopefully, that starts becoming an easier situation as the, hours and days go on. So thank you all for your patience. Please, y'all, when you're out and about, when you're dealing with ice, when you're dealing with gas, give them all some grace. It's a hard situation for everybody. We're all in the same kind of situation, no matter if it's a business or residents. We're all dealing with the same problem. So please just be patient and calm when you're dealing with all of these issues. Also, I want to thank all the councilmen. They all have their own issues they're dealing with. They're just like everybody else, and they have been out there assisting residents in any way possible. Every councilman has been on the streets, doing work themselves, clearing drains, assisting their constituents. So thank you to all the councilmen for such an amazing job during this time. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Calais. All right, so a lot of things are happening. We jotted a lot of things down, so I'm going to try to go through some of these specific things. The big question on a lot of our citizens' mind, a lot of citizens in the region, is power. And I want to address that at the end of today after we tick off some of this stuff. So, we're coming back. We're a lot better off than we were 16 years ago. So there are problems associated with that, and we want to make sure everybody is patient. The fire department, the sheriff's department are working hard. We don't need to be dealing with minor knucklehead stuff. We need serious business to get this parish up and running. So please, like the sheriff says, don't be a knucklehead. Walmart is open and Home Depot is open. That's a great thing. So that means good things are coming quickly here in St. Bernard Parish. We have a number of businesses open. Like the sheriff said, we have 5 gas stations. We have a number of them that's trying to get up and going today. We have a line out here on Dr. Miro Boulevard. I'm not sure if that's for racetrack or the Miro gas station, but please be patient while you're in line. We have a cooling center set up at the Val Reese complex. It's from 11 a.m. today to 7:30 p.m. We will have a place for you to cool down. We know it's hot. We know a lot of people don't have generators. So please get there, cool yourself off. We're going to have stations to charge your cell phones. We're going to have stations for people who are power dependent, whether it be a ventilator, whether it be oxygen concentrator, whatever it may be, feeding. We will have electricity for you at the Val Reese Center. We still have a curfew in place. Is that correct, Sheriff? Correct. From dusk to dawn. We still don't have major power throughout the parish, so please stay indoors after dusk to dawn so the sheriff can protect you and your property. I think we addressed the gas. Traffic, we're asking you to, we have stop signs now at some of our major intersections. Judge Perez and Parish Road, we should have a power plant there to have those lights turned on soon, hopefully by today. But the rest of them, we're still going to have stop signs. Please be careful. If there's any time that you should be driving the speed limit, probably less than the speed limit, it's at this time. While everyone's trying to come back and we got lines in our major thoroughfares for gas stations, right? So please be careful and please use some common sense when you're driving through the parish. We have debris pickup. Our contractors are out there working hard. They have a system that they have to follow that's regulated by FEMA. So please, understand that they have things that they have to do. You may not understand that, and being out there and arguing with these guys in your neighborhood about how they should do their job, you're only delaying the debris pickup throughout the parish. So please let them do their job. FEMA has rules that they have to follow, know that, or they don't get paid. So let them do their job. Thank them, actually, for being there and cleaning up your parish. Take your vegetation from your private property, because they cannot go on private property, and move it to the curb, not the street. Move it to the curb. Right? We don't want you putting debris in the street. If you're going to bag it, please use clear bags only. They will not pick up vegetation in a black bag. So just leave your vegetation and not be bagged. But if you have to bag it, use a clear bag. All black bags that are put out with your garbage can, your black garbage can, will be picked up by our garbage provider, and that is IV Waste. And that will begin on Thursday for pickup. So that's going to start on Thursday. So let's get all of our items to the curb. One other thing, if you have roofing material, if you have a fence, if you have furniture, you need to pile that in a separate pile than your vegetation. And your garbage obviously goes in your garbage can or a black bag. That's what we're asking you to do, all right? FEMA has rules. We have to follow them. That's how we have to do that. We have to keep track of those two piles separately. And I can tell you, our guys are out there working hard. By the end of today, or maybe by the end of tomorrow, Ronnie, I'm not sure, our neutral grounds, we're going to take all of that vegetation, we're going to be piling them up. And we're going to cut the grass by tomorrow or the next day. So please be patient. I just put a little pressure on Ronnie. Is that what Ronnie's going to make that happen. We're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel there. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Gulf Coast Bank, I'm told that will be open around noon today, and it will be drive-up only. First bank that was back after Katrina was going to be the first bank back after Ida, I believe. So we're proud of those guys for getting that up and going. The first pass for debris pickup. So remember, when we're doing this debris pickup, crews are going to be in your neighborhoods. They're going to be on the highways. They're going to be pushing all of this debris in piles. So they will take your debris in front of your home and move it to another home and to make a big pile. So if there's a huge pile with somebody else's vegetation in front of your house, please leave it there. Know that these contractors will be there on first pass. They're going to begin the first pass on September 7th. That would be Tuesday, right? We only have 3 passes for FEMA. So they're going to begin the first pass parish-wide on Tuesday, September 7th. So the more debris that we can get to the curb now, the better it will be for us in the end. Right, so What we're asking you to do, and I never made that clear, your vegetation, please don't put it in black bags and let IV Waste put that in garbage. Just leave that and don't bag it. If you have to bag it, it's got to be a clear bag. It makes it so much easier for us so that when we get to that third pass, that we're going to get everything, right? And that's the goal here, is what we're trying to do. Parish government offices will be closed until further notice at this time. Blue tarps, we are handing out blue tarps today here at the government complex. It begins at, John? It already started. And if we run out, we will get more. There has been some confusion about the blue tarps. There's a giveaway of blue tarps, and then there's a blue tarp program. FEMA has a blue tarp program where they will actually pay for someone to put a blue tarp on your home. That program is going to be delayed a little bit because they have to do an assessment, and we have to qualify for whatever the FEMA rules are. It's a percentage of homes estimated to be damaged. And until that assessment is made, that blue tarp program will not be in play. But we will be giving away some blue tarps today. We have a bunch of them to give away. I'm sure they're going to all go here in a little bit. So we are managing that right now as we speak outside the government complex. All right, let's talk about power. So, I have to start out by apologizing in a small way, if you will, to President of Entergy, Mr. May, all the way down to the linemen for Entergy. Those guys are working hard, but we gave them a hard time yesterday. So it was some very tough discussions. We didn't know what was going on, right? And they weren't telling us. It's so difficult from our position to tell somebody you're going to have your power on tomorrow or the next day or the next week. So they're not telling us, so we can't tell the citizens. And why would we do that when we're not 100% sure? So I've been having conversations with Mr. May and Curtis here in St. Bernard, Curtis Navis, who runs the operations here in St. Bernard Parish. We now know what the process is. So when they say they need to get a transmission line and someone else says New Orleans, Entergy means New Orleans metropolitan region. Entergy is not interested in getting somebody on before someone else. They want to get everybody on. We need to know that. They're working hard to get your electricity on. We know that, and we are more confident of that about St. Bernard's interests more today than we ever knew. So while we were in those tough discussions, going through all of the roundabout talk about what's going on, we weren't happy. And I can tell you that, citizens would have been saying the same thing that I was saying to the representatives of Entergy. We're not worried about our guys here in St. Bernard Parish. Curtis Navis and his guys are kicking butt. They're doing it now. They are working on the distribution center, the distribution lines. That's going to be ready. We need the transmission. We need power, okay? We are very confident after discussions with Entergy, after discussions with Curtis, all right, that we're going to get Entergy sooner rather than later. Now, a lot of you guys are going to call me and say, well, what is that? My family, right? We're going to get it tomorrow. We're going to get it next week. We're going to get it, So I could tell you this, the rumors on Facebook that we have to chase around while we're trying to do our job, it's not going to be November, all right? It's not going to be October. We're looking at a few weeks, maximum, in my mind. That's not from Entergy. I kind of know a little bit now, been educated on what they're trying to do. Let's think about this. I don't know if this is, and I never asked this question, but I don't know if this has ever been done, where every single transmission line in southeast Louisiana and broke the loop that ties everything in has been down. So if you think Entergy is interested in passing up, like I thought, to be honest with you, a community and turn another community on when they can turn this one on, that is just not true. We need the power generator in New Orleans to be connected, and then we need that power generator all the way up the line, up the river to the 9-mile generator. And now they can supply energy to everyone. So as they're doing that, they're going to pull off power for the communities along the way. We feel so confident. And I can tell you, citizens, if you were in that room, you would feel confident. Just know that you're going to get power sooner rather than later. Know that we need you in this community, and don't worry about things that you can't control. Know that we're in that room and that we're fighting for you. Here I go, Sheriff. Shoot. Every day, right? So we need you to worry about cleaning your property. We need you to help other people in your community. We need you to, thank the linemen when they're working. Please don't disrupt them. Ask them when it's going to be on. If they're in your neighborhood, your distribution lines are going to be ready, right? Now, I watched on the news this morning, they got some power in New Orleans East somewhere. What does that mean? It means that there's power close, that we're going to get it soon, sooner rather than later. So I'm going to have a bunch of text messages. Well, what do you really mean by that, guy? If we're going to get it tomorrow, we don't know. But I can tell you, Entergy is working their tails off. And we're working doubly hard to get it on. St. Bernard's going to be okay. We want to help these other regions, like the sheriff's talking about. And within St. Bernard Parish, when you get your power on, whenever that may be, you need to help people who don't have that power. That's what we need to do. So let's concentrate on that. Let's support Entergy, because they are our friends. I've been telling myself that after those discussions yesterday. And we've been communicating overnight, this morning, and we know more now than we ever know. So I want to thank them, actually, for what they're doing. It's an awesome responsibility. It's a Herculean effort that they have to put forth to tie this loop in. Think about it. 9 parishes, 0 power. And they have to do it in a certain way, and there's no other way that they can do it. So I want to thank all of you for what you're doing. Remember, we have homes to go to. Some people don't. And we need to be thankful for that. And like the sheriff said, I think you said, take a deep breath and be grateful for where we're at. I don't. Nunez will be closed until next Tuesday. Nunez Community College, that is. The public schools, we have no answer on that, but they need power. So as soon as power comes up, I'm not sure if they're going to do it piecemeal. We have to talk to Ms. Voce about that. But basically, we need power. So to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish and to our region, God bless. And thank you for what you're doing. Any questions? LB. You know, we've had some requests from volunteer groups. They're going to be coming in and setting up in a few areas. But to be honest with you, LB, we got a lot of our restaurants up and going. We want people to go support our restaurants. Walmart is open for groceries. We believe we're going to have, and Ronnie, I'm just going to, you know, Conseco's, we're working on getting them open in Arabi. We don't know exactly when. We got some generator problems over there. So we'll have 2 major groceries open, and we know we got some other ones that are trying to get up and going. So we don't think at this time that we're going to have that need. I think today we're handing out some food with the Tarps. Is that happening? Okay, so tomorrow we have some boxed food that we're going to be handing out. I think that's going to come tomorrow. So we're working on all of that. But I tell you, you know, I see we got lines at, you know, Parish Road at a restaurant and Arabi over here. You know, I think today's catch is open. He knows, but he just don't want to say. So I think we're open by Violet Canal, the restaurant down that way. I heard some conversations about that. So LB, to answer your question in general, we don't really think we need that right now. The situation could change. As of right now. Right. And as soon as one light goes on from the transmission, you know, everybody's going to know about it. I promise you. If one house or one light, you know, but I can tell you this, their priority is the hospital. So I don't know how that's going to affect the surrounding area of the hospital, and then refineries, and then schools, and then there are communities around those areas that will be, but that's their priority, and we agree with it, we support it, and we need to get that done. The people at the hospital have been working so hard. You know, they got a staff, I believe, of 110. They've been at it forever prior to the storm with the pandemic, right? And now this, with it being full, can't transfer patients because we're taking patients from the region who don't have a hospital now. So we're all working together, and I'm just so proud.
Have you done a site survey outside the levee protection? Can you just give us an update on conditions there, road conditions, infrastructure conditions?
They can't hear questions.
You talked about the bridge. Are there any other major problems? And when are the commercial fishermen, are they already back out? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, well, the question was, outside of the levee protection system, what's the condition of the roads? What are the commercial fishing industries doing? Carrie, you want to take that?
Our roads are all fared out as well as they could. They're all clear. All the roads are fine except for the Wyclosky Bridge. The Wyclosky Bridge sustained considerable damage. We are hoping to get some more information from DOTD today on what the time frame looks like, what do the repairs to that look like. So the only infrastructure that we have seen so far that is damaged outside of the levee as far as parish government or roadways are concerned is the Wyclosky Bridge. There are residents down there now, commercial fishermen or people with property. They have started going down there as of this morning, everything on this side of the Wyclosky Bridge. So Reggio, Delacroix, and anything except Shell Beach and Hopedale. There are residents down there. The fishermen are down there, assessing their own properties. And, there's been sheriff crews down there assessing properties. I'm going to say for Jimmy, it's not as bad as it could have been. There are definitely some issues. There are definitely some damage. For the most part, it looked like properties fared okay. Most of them are very high. There are definitely boat damages for people that have not gotten their property outside, inside the levee for the storm. And there's definitely some individual property issues that, they're dealing with. But they are down there today, except for the Shell Beach and Hopedale area, which is waiting for the Wyclosky Bridge for assessment.
Somebody asked, what about trees that were on Parish property that fall on homes, private homes? Are you guys going to help clean that up?
Ask that again, I'm sorry.
What about trees that were on Parish
So the question is when trees fall on a home, how it's going to be removed, especially if it's on parish property, right? So we're going to send some crews out there to assess that and get that tree off of those people's homes, right? We can do that because it's the health and safety and welfare of the public. So when we have a down tree on a home, we have a process that we go through that we can get off of, regardless of whether it's a public lot or privately owned lot. So we will be removing those trees off of people's homes. We've already done an assessment. The Sheriff's Department, the Fire Department, and our community development has done that. Yes. Thank you, Jimmy. So we will do that. All right, so the sheriff brought up that's why he's the sheriff. Brought up a very good item or topic of discussion that's so important. We have no power right now. All of our sewage lift stations throughout the parish have no power. So to move the sewage, we have vacuum trucks that are on schedule and are driving throughout the parish and moving that to our plant in Miro, the Munster plant in Miro. What happens is if they're far out, they will collect the sewage and they will get as close to the plant as they can with a gravity line and dump it in the middle of a neighborhood somewhere in a manhole so where it'll go to the plant. So that's happening. People are wondering why people are coming in your neighborhoods. That's happening. If we have some problems there, please give us a call, 278-4200, and report that. But that has to happen until we have power, right? So for however long we're going to be out of power, you will see vacuum trucks in your neighborhoods moving that sewage. That's the only way we can do it. We've had about 4 or 5 complaints maybe, Ronnie, and that's, to me, that's a miracle, right? 30-mile long parish, a couple of miles wide, and we have 40,000 population. A lot of people are here using the baths, hosing down, using the toilet, and all of that stuff's got to go somewhere. And we're picking it up and moving it with vacuum trucks. So that's a huge issue. And Sheriff, thank you so much for bringing that up. Anyone else? Keith, Paul? Nope. All right. Thank you guys so much, and God bless. Thanks, Sheriff.
I can think of 5 other reasons why I'm sheriff, and none of them has to do anything